Hello and welcome to another episode of FireDEV, a fireside chat with developers and teams of developers making great products. So today we've got Everforge Studios that are making the game Prison Rumble, and I'll hand it over to them to do, a little introduction about, their backgrounds and, what they're working on.
All right. First of all, Farhan, thank you for having us here. It's a pleasure. My name is Misha, of course. Mikibo and Artyom, we are three co-founders of the Everforge Studios. Currently working on Prison Rumble, just like Farhan said. The Prison Rumble itself, it's a gamified Web3 project, and our main mission and the goal, so to speak, is actually to create a game that would be enjoyable for everybody and have the game as the main priority, of course, and then kind of in introduce the blockchain aspect to it. So basically, get more people into Web3 by the gaming, not just the ones that we have at the moment. And yeah, in terms of our backgrounds and stuff, I think my colleagues can begin, and then I will chime in when my time will come.
Okay, perfect. So, hello once again, and thanks for having us here. So, my name is Mikibo. I have over 12 years experience in art industry and over 8 years experience in gaming and gambling industry. And during my career, I have worked with companies such as Pixar, Zynga, and EA Games. And currently, I have worked with THQ Nordic. And yeah, that's about me. So, yeah, Artyom.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having us today. My name is Artyom. I'm a marketer by profession. I run my own marketing agency in Georgia. And our main approach is data driven marketing within the company, which means that every decision and everything that we made within the company is based on data, on the real data from the market, on the real data from our clients, and also within the Everforge project and within the Prison Rumble project, we do have the same approach in terms of marketing. So yeah, that's briefly about me.
Yeah, and just to wrap it up, I guess I'm a professional actor working in the entertainment industry for over 10 years as an actor, a director, and also editor and writer as well. And the most important thing that I think that all of us should say about us is, in general, is that we are very big, passionate gamers, and we have been playing since very
Yep.
early childhood years, so to speak. Yeah.
True.
Okay, that sounds good. Mikibo, you were saying that you worked with companies like Zynga, Pixar, and EA
Right.
and THQ Nordic. What sort of capacity and what projects have you worked on whilst working with those, really big, some of the
Yep.
biggest companies in their respective industries?
Yes. So like back in 2010, I was working with Pixar and Disney Studio, and I was working on sketches for Frozen. It's a animated movie. If I'm sure you heard
I,
of it.
I think everyone's heard of that movie. Even in
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
jungle, they know that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and like my last big experience was with THQ Nordic. I was working on Desperados 3. So I was working on textures and some sketches as well. So it was like my last uh, big working with a big company actually. Yeah.
Okay, and how about with Zynga and EA? What sort of projects and work did you do with those guys?
Yes, so for Zynga, back in 2016, I believe, they were doing like redesigning of Zynga Poker. And they hired me as an art director to lead the team to redesign and do like fresh artworks for the Zynga Poker. So I had a chance to work on Zynga Poker, and it was a really nice experience. And about EA games, it was around 2013, I believe. And firstly, I have won the competition that was created by EA Games. And then they hired me to work on some sketches, but that game has never released. But yeah, it was a really great experience as well, working with art director of EA Games. and it like gave me like really good push and gave me really good experience. And that environment was really like it was easy to to sharpen my skills in that type of environment.
Okay, that sounds good. So you said that game has never released. Was it a totally new IP, or was it something,
Uh,
like a sequel to something that was already out?
yeah, like so, like it was kind of like a sport game, like sport mixed with cars,
Okay.
and like yeah, I had a chance to work on some car designs. I still keep that sketches in my PC, and like if you will guys will be interested, I can share it with you later on.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'll love to take a look. I mean, it kind of sounds something like Rocket League. Is it anything like that, or can you not talk about
Uh,
it?
yeah, kind of like something similar. Yeah, not exactly, but yeah, something
So
similar.
something
Yeah,
similar. Okay,
yeah.
that's fine. And Misho, you were saying that you've done some acting. You're an actor. What
Yes.
sort of, is there anything that we would have heard of that you've been in or participated in?
Well, mostly like in terms of my acting career, I have like bigger experiences I have are on the stage, on the theater.
Okay.
And even though like there has been some tours, like the most performances were local in Georgia in the theaters here. So unless you have visited here, unfortunately, I don't think you have seen much in terms of me. I did work behind, I mean, in front of the camera as well, but not that much. It was some small appearances here and there in the I believe there was one or two TV shows, but nothing too big. Some advertisement. There was a big was supposed to be a very big step in my career on 2020, but unfortunately because of COVID, the whole production kind of disappeared, so to speak. Because of COVID, like we couldn't continue, and it was supposed to be one of those like big steps in my career, in the acting career, and like those big movies. It was a feature film. I had one of the main roles, but unfortunately, like we never really got to fully work on it, and because of the worldwide regulations and the flight were unavailable most places, it was basically the project got scrapped after that.
Okay, fair enough. I mean,
Yeah, but
these things, unfortunately, do happen. Things do get scrapped for a bunch of reasons, and obviously, COVID has
yeah.
been one of the biggest reasons recently.
But yeah, to be honest, like it was one of the pivot points, I guess, in my life, because if it was not for that situation, I'm not saying it was good, but if it was not that situation, I would not have been here today with my friends over here and with you and talking about Everforge. So yeah,
That's good. So it's worked out in the end.
of course, everything does.
Yeah, it always does. Okay, so for you, Artyom, so you're the marketing guy. What sort of marketing do you specialize in, and what campaigns have you worked on previously?
Okay, so basically, we're a digital marketing agency based in Georgia called Marketing Solutions Georgia. And we do have services like Google advertising, Facebook advertising, Instagram, SEO optimization, website development, etc., etc. So basically, it's a bunch of services that potentially will be useful for example, for startup. If you're a startup and you need to start your business from scratch and you don't know how to do the marketing and stuff, and you need some IT solutions, also we are like providing these kind of services.
Okay.
Mostly we were working with the local companies. I'm not sure if you'll be like familiar with them, but we were also working with some foreign companies in Israel, in Canada, in Dubai, etc.
Okay, that all sounds good. And how did you guys, meet? Were you old friends and then you just connected on a new project, or was it just totally new just for this project?
That's a good question. I will start if you don't mind, and like you guys can continue.
Yeah,
Sure.
Uh,
sure.
so basically, like me and Artyom, like we have been friends since school. Like we studied when we were kids together from the eighth grade, I believe. And even after school, like even after we finished and went to universities and graduated, like we and some of our friends still like kept in touch, and we consider each other's like best friends. And Mikibo is actually a friend. who was introduced by our mutual friend, so to speak.
Okay.
It's kind of a circle that started at some point, and when we kind of met Mikibo, we learned more about him. We became friends, and then I'm gonna let you guys continue, because I think this is a story which you should be telling, like how we kind of like got together in terms of the project itself.
Yes, so like basically, I had a dream where and it was like it was a game and there was a character who was trying to like punch the walls and trying to escape the prison. And like after I wake up, I like thought to create the game out of this dream, and I gave a call to the Artyom, and I told him my idea, and he was like, "Hell yeah, dude! Like let's do it." And like after like a couple of weeks or so, we started working on a crypto like a crypto prison. Like it was named crypto prison, but right now we are named uh, prison rumble. And after that, yeah, we are still working together and doing our best to achieve our dreams and to make the best game possible out of the prison rumble.
Okay, that sounds good. And so you mentioned Prison Rumble. That's the game you're working on right now. What
Yep.
specifically? What type of game is that? What's like the gameplay mechanics?
All right. Well, actually, it's quite a unique mix of genres. Like the mix contains like digital board game, in like let's say Monopoly, for example, like rolling the dice, moving on the board, etc. Card games similar to Hearthstone or Gwent or Legends of Frontera, and it also has some RPG elements and even some aspects that we kind of took from Dungeons and Dragons when it came to like some specific things. So it is a very big genre name, which we kind of don't know how to condense, and we call it like digital dice roller engine builder board game with RPG elements. Yeah,
Okay,
something like that.
okay, that sounds good. And how long have you been working on Prison Rumble for?
I believe like the actual like process began around March, when we kind of all got together, when we started working and like fine tuning the idea at first, and then working on the game and the project and community and everything. Like so, it began a bit earlier, but when we actually start like the working on it, so to speak, it was around March.
Okay, so not that long at all then.
Yeah,
And
Yep.
so your company Everforge Studios, is it funded or is it bootstrapped?
it is so far all of it has been bootstrapped, apart from a very small investment into the Prison Rumble project.
Okay, and are you at liberty to say how much that investment was and what type of person it came from? Was it like a seed investor or was it from like a startup incubator?
Yeah, it's like basically it was one of my old colleagues who was interested in the project, and he sought to invest in our project $5,000. So it was like just $5,000 was the investment in this project so far.
Everything else has been bootstrapped. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you guys have regular, or your old job still, and you're doing it in your spare time, or do you have savings and you're just going as long as you can with your savings?
Yeah, we're currently focusing on the Prison Rumble and Everforge related project at the moment. So it's like full time job for us.
Full
Yeah,
time job.
yeah, we
Yep.
still do like have sources of income, of course, like, but this is the main focus, and everything is like more on the side, so to speak.
Okay, and so Prison Rumble is the first game made by Everforge. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, and so you mentioned blockchain. How are you leveraging blockchain technology in your game, and how could Prison Rumble not be done, without blockchain?
All right, that's actually a very good question. Well, first of all, one of the biggest, no, I would not say like problems, so to speak, but potentially could be named the problem in gaming industry or in many industries is transparency itself. First of all, introducing blockchain to the in the game itself, it already kind of makes everything with glass walls. Everything is visible. Everything is maximally transparent. But most importantly, like what blockchain allows us to do in Prison Rumble is to sort of create an ecosystem which is rewarding for players. We have seen like that idea in many games. There is a genre play to earn, and we kind of trying to switch it to play and earn because, in our opinion, playing is as much as important. But without the blockchain aspect, first of all, players most likely would not have the ability to get rewarded for their playing, will not get rewarded for participating in the ecosystem and in the growth of the project itself. There are certain aspects apart from just like play and earn systems, which you play and you just earn, but with the involvement of cryptocurrencies in the game itself, be it in like custom created lobbies, regular tournaments with the prize pools that you can basically have the entrance fee, so to speak, which will be creating the prize pool itself based on the cryptocurrencies. And yeah, mostly like the earning related aspects, and in our opinion, the NFT aspect as well, because in most of the games we see a lot of skins. We see skins that we like, sometimes that ones that we do not like, of course, but it is very hard to find a 100% unique skin that you have, for example. And a lot of people like using those completely unique visuals to represent themselves in the game or in any, like even a metaverse, for example. So that is also possible partially because of the blockchain aspect of the game.
Okay. And do you guys have any experience prior to Prison Rumble with blockchain and cryptocurrency technologies, or just that space in general? Have you like invested in it, or been working on other projects in that space?
Three of us, we don't have any experience in blockchain. I mean,
No,
before we
actually,
started every
actually,
Actually,
project.
Mikibo has.
Yeah,
Mikibo
yeah,
has.
Mikibo
I
has
have worked with
yeah.
a couple of NFT projects earlier, and also our blockchain developer. He has worked with two huge NFT projects as well. So yeah, like I have over 3 years experience in blockchain industry as well, and in NFT world.
Yeah,
Okay.
and also we have very strong partners, which are like sharing with us their expertise, and like helping us to explore the world of blockchain. And like, I mean, we do have a strong blockchain background. Not me personally, not Misha personally, but in general, our team of 11 people, we do have a strong blockchain background.
Yeah, and you said investments as well. So I think like in that regard, me and Artem also have experience, but not like in terms of creating. In terms of creating, this is the first one for us,
First
the
one.
two of us.
Okay. Okay. And I see that on your website that you partnered with Land of Hope. You know, tell us more about that partnership.
All right. Well, basically, I can tell you how we discovered each other, so to speak, and what we did with that in the future. We are sort of part of the InMind platform. I'm sure you've heard of it. If not, I can basically, in a few words, tell you what it is. It is basically a platform where investors and startups in the blockchain industry sort of meet each other. Like it is kind of a middleman between these two. And we saw Land of Hope as one of the startup projects on there. And when we took a look at their website, we took a look at their white paper and basically what they were representing, initially and after looking at the game as well and the trailers, we were interested in meeting them and having a chat and wondering, asking a few questions. And once we hopped on a call, and they shared a bit more. They shared the game itself, which is closed at the moment, like it's not available. They shared the game, they gave us the keys to play it, and we really liked what they are representing with the Web3, their vision of creating a game which is interesting itself. And basically focusing on the gaming aspect of it and trying to innovate in that regarding the Web3. That is what really caught our interest. And once we had the discussion and we thought of how we could help each other out, of course. First was definitely regarding the communities, and then I'm not going to be saying exactly what is the plan itself, but we are sort of moving in the direction to implement each other's, well, not projects, but very small aspects of the project itself in our games. So it is possibly possible in the future to see something of us there and to see something of theirs here, or
Okay, and when is the game coming out? I think that's something that a lot of people, especially once they see that cinematic trailer, want to know when's it coming out.
Yeah, that is a good question. Well, in our roadmap, like as we have it right now, if everything goes as planned or even better, the early alpha, which is going to be playable and open to public, it is planned to be on Q2 of the next year.
Okay,
So
so not long then, not
not
far away.
not not that far away. At least
Yep.
that's the plan so far. It
Yeah.
of course depends on the investment rounds and the NFT sales, but w- I th- we are very like strongly thinking that this is very, very, very attainable.
Okay, that sounds good. And you mentioned investment rounds. Are you in the middle of seed or Series A funding?
Yes, we are.
You are. Okay, good. Is there anything that you can talk about in terms of that?
Like where are we at the moment, or
Yeah, anything where you're at the moment, how much you're looking to go for, what investors you're, speaking
yeah.
to. If you can mention that, obviously. If you can't, that's fine.
Uh,
Sure.
Okay, like
Sure.
yeah, sure. I mean, I can tell you. First of all, we are at the seed round, and
Mhm.
at the moment, our plan is to raise with a seed round at least, without excluding the NFT sales, which might be earlier or might be later. Is $132,000. This is what we're
Okay.
trying to raise in the seed round.
Is that
Though
US dollars?
US dollars, yes. I'm
Yes.
sorry, I forgot to say that. We have been talking with a few investors. Yes, unfortunately, since we didn't onboard any of them yet, as we don't have their final answers, I think it's not. It wouldn't be that good if I mentioned them. If we had anyone already confirmed, then I would be at full liberty to say everything basically and introduce them. But yeah,
Okay.
but
And
yeah, what I was going to say basically is we are also quite possibly, and I would say like at least 90% possibility of chance here to onboard a new advisor on the team. And with the addition of this new advisor who has successful projects in Solana and the networking and the ability, we are potentially thinking about changing the very short-term course of the investment round and focus on the NFT sales first and then go for the investment round. That is also a possibility, and we are kind of in the middle of discussing those possibilities and choosing the best strategy for now.
okay. And what blockchain are you actually using for Prison Rumble?
Solana.
Solana, you use
Yeah.
Solana. Okay. And why did you choose Solana over something like Ethereum or the many other systems out there?
Even though Ethereum is quite already old, quote unquote, and very proven blockchain, for us, and I think most of the gaming projects would say the same, low gas fees is one of the biggest factors, and in terms of the UX perspective. And on top of that, Solana blockchain is already quite well known and well proven in the Web3 gaming community. That is sort of their prime mm, voice in the blockchain at the moment, or at least what they're trying to do. And on top of that, they have a very, very strong community, both in the projects and the users of the user base of the projects as well. So that is the reason we sort of chose that route.
Okay. And what game engine are you using for Prison Rumble?
Oh, Unity.
Yeah.
You're using Unity.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you consider any other engines?
Actually, like we are thinking about Unreal 5 as well. but our final decision was Unity.
Your final decision was Unity. Okay, and like, what made you choose Unity over Unreal Engine 5?
First of all, I would like to talk about a bit about Unreal 5. It's a really great engine, and it's really has low bugs as well, and it's also smooth on mobile and PC as well. But for us, it was hard to find Unreal Engine developers, so we went with Unity, and plus Unity is really nice engine as well. So yeah, it was kind of like main reason why we chose Unity.
Another reason why this is not really a very strong one, it is that Unity development is easier to convert to mobile and desktop at the same
Yep,
time.
yep,
Like even
that's
though
right.
it is possible in Unreal 5, like of course we see many games on mobile which is on Unreal 5, the conversion is it takes a bit more resources than it does with the Unity.
Yes, and plus, we also have some experience with Unity,
Mhm.
and it really helps us to develop much better game in Unity than on Unreal 5.
Yeah.
Okay, and how big is your team? Because obviously there's you three, but you mentioned other people as well. How big is your team in total? And like, how many developers or artists, etc., do you have?
Yes, basically we are 11 people in the team, and we have three developers, and we have also 3D artists, and we also work with two artists outsource, and they are doing rigging characters and animating, and also I do a bunch of stuff as well, like 2D stuff for the game, and also sketching of the characters, environment, and etc. And
And
also, yeah. Please, Michelle, continue.
no, I was just going to say like we also have a community manager. We also have
Yep.
two people from Philippines who are doing the marketing as well, and we cannot exclude our sound producer as well,
Yep,
Omar.
definitely.
Yeah, who's working on the soundtracks and basically any SFX and sounds for the game as well.
Okay.
And also the game designer, which is like
Yeah,
a
Yep.
co-founder of local Georgian anti cafe, board game anti cafe, and he also developed two board games for the global market. One of them is the Gorgasali. I'm not sure if you heard about it, but yeah.
Okay. And what platforms will Prison Rumble be available on?
all right. Now, well, first of all, since we plan on having both the desktop and the mobile version, like we are planning to have the game downloadable from Google Play and Apple Store as well, of course. In terms of like the game itself, the desktop version, I mean, I think we didn't really think about Steam at the moment or any platform like that. We were thinking about it being available from our website, but we did have talking and basically almost cemented a partnership with VX Gaming. It is a potential platform where our game could be on in the future as well.
Okay. And what do your sort of work hours look like? Is it like a crazy schedule that you hear about startups doing 12 plus hour days and working weekends, or is it a more grounded 9 to 5?
No, no, forget
No.
about like weekends. Forget about everything. I mean, it's structured. It really has a structure. But when you're a startup, um, you never can like imagine how your schedule will go, because there are many things happening around the project, and you, as a project owner, as a co-founder, have to have a skill of improvisation, because there are like many stuff happening. And also the main part, I would say, is the like um, attending to the events, as much event as possible, because events is the good for your networking, and for meeting other project owners, partnering with them, etc., etc. So, answering your question, it's structured, but it's chaotic at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, quite hectic, but not complaining.
Yeah, like it's like basically me like in we as well, like we wake up at 7 a.m., grab coffee, work, and then on like maybe 10 p.m. we just drink water and go to sleep, and like it's the same routine kind of like every day.
Yeah, work, coffee, sleep, work, coffee, sleep, work, coffee, events,
Yeah.
work, coffee, sleep.
Yeah,
But yeah, you drink more coffee than me. Just
yeah,
that's the
Yeah,
only
yeah.
difference.
yeah.
Man, I can't imagine my morning without a cup of coffee. So
Yeah, like, me too, actually. But like I drink only one cup of the coffee, and that's it. And you, man, like you drink like 5 or 7 cups a
Yeah.
day, and it's ridiculous. Yeah.
okay.
Okay, and do you guys have physical offices, or are you all remote, or is it like a hybrid approach?
We do have a physical office, but we like sometimes we prefer to work remotely. Sometimes we do go to the office, so like it's mixed.
Okay, and for the offices, is it only you three guys that go? Is it the rest of the team goes as well?
The rest of the team as well, yeah. So it's like a common co-working space where we can like do some brainstorming
Yep.
and stuff.
Okay. And any successful product has two main parts: a product, but also success, which requires promotion, marketing, and this is something that many indie developers fall short on. I see it all the time. I see great apps, see great games, and they have virtually no downloads. So how are you handling the promotion and marketing side to ensure when the game launches, or even or leading up to it, that you have a successful game? Because obviously, we'll talk about the cinematic trailer in a moment. Like, it's looking good. The gameplay, the cinematic trailer, the whole design, everything is looking on point from that perspective. But obviously, if nobody plays it, then it doesn't matter how good that design and the gameplay is. So, how are you ensuring that the marketing is on point to make sure you have a successful game?
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. So basically, every project owner, and like the whole team should have a go-to-market strategy. It's really very important for the project to have a go-to-market strategy, and our go-to-market strategy is basically a partnership with Twitch, YouTube content creators, because we are creating the game, which is first of all very fun and gives players a possibility to create custom lobbies, to create tournaments, which means that for example, for reaching out to Twitch streamers and offering them to like try out the game, it's a good side of the project. Also, we are going to make targeting ads, to run a targeted ads on the various platforms, using demographic factors, using interests, etc., etc. uh, yeah, Google Ads I already mentioned. Also, the very important thing for the, not only for the game project, but so for all kind of projects in overall, is to have a loyalty program, because the thing people doesn't really understand is that, of course, it's important to user acquisition is very important, but more important is to retain already existed users. So the solution here for us is to use a loyalty program within our game, which means that we'll have, for example, like daily tasks. For example, invite 5 people to the game, and you will be rewarded with X, with Y, etc. And the last thing is like our own marketing program, this third main pillar of our project, which means that um, imagine there will be separate website, for example, marketing.prisonrumble.io, let's say, and you go through the KYC verification to register on the website, and you will be able to complete easy one to click marketing tasks. For example, share the video on TikTok, invite 5 friends, share the video in Facebook, Instagram, whatever, and you will be rewarded with the token. And this also gives us a possibility to invite other projects to our marketing program if they would like to, for example, include their product in their marketing program and make their product viral. They're always welcome. So basically, answering your question, go-to-market strategy is very important to have, even at the early stage of the project.
Okay. And you mentioned, partnering up with Twitch creators. Have you already partnered with some of them, or is that just a strategy that you're in the process of doing?
We haven't partnered yet since we do not have like a playable version of the game, but we had the negotiations with the Twitch streamers regarding this topic, and like they said, yeah, why not?
Okay, I mean that sounds good. Do you just message them, or is it like somebody that knows them? Like how do you go about reaching out to them?
It's a bit of both, actually. Like messaging, of course, like we do have our list as well, potential content creators that we would like to include basically our game on their content list. But one of our partners, Arena Games, is also the one that is, and Umbrella Productions, Umbrella LLC, the game production company, which are also helping us in that regard as well. So with the introductions, I mean, basically.
Okay. And I saw the cinematic trailer that you released last week. I mean, I've got to say, is really. I mean, that's what made me reach out to you guys was that cinematic trailer. Who created that amazing piece of art? Was that you guys, or did you get it commissioned by somebody?
Yes. So like basically, us, like our team have created this cinematic and gameplay trailer. So like as already mentioned, like we also have 3D artists, riggers, and animators. So like we combined all our talents and like pushed hard to create this masterpiece, so to say. So yeah, like took around seven, 6 people, right?
I think so,
To
yeah.
yeah, to create and finalize this trailer. And it took us around month and a half to fully finish the trailer with sound effects, animations, and post production.
I mean, the quality definitely shows. What tool or tools did you use to create that cinematic trailer?
Okay, so like we have used bunch of tools. Started from Photoshop, Illustrator, After Effects, Cinema 4D, Unity, Maya, and Blender mixed. Yeah, and I think there was also some couple of extra tools we have used.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, yeah,
ZBrush as well.
ZBrush as well. Yeah, I forgot to mention it. Yes, like there are a bunch of tools we have to use to create this kind of visuals.
Okay. And obviously, those are the tools that are gonna, make the cinematic trailer. Unity is gonna help make the game, make the
Hmm.
artwork with, Photoshop and Maya, that sort of stuff. But
Yep.
what tools like Slack, etc., do you use to enhance your workflow?
Oh, okay. Well, actually we use Discord for that. We,
Okay.
we didn't use any other like external, like we at some time we did try a few. We were also using, I think ClickUp was one of them as well, if I remember correctly. And we
Yep.
tried a few, but like Discord actually was the most comfortable and efficient in our situation.
Okay, so you use Discord. Obviously, you've got a Discord community, but you use Discord just amongst yourselves as well.
Yeah,
Then.
yeah. We do have a
Yeah.
separate group, a separate chat, and separate server as well. And some of the work was done like face to face as well.
Hmm.
When it came to like the music and the sound part of sound part of the trailer. Yeah.
Okay, so I personally use Slack. I've used some other tools over the years as well, and I remember, I mean, probably just a few days ago or a week ago, I was thinking, how well could Discord, because it's a messaging client, you can
Hmm.
upload files, you can have people on there. How well would a Discord server work for like managing a project? So, like, what sort of features would you say that Discord has over more conventional tools? And like, what does it bring to the table? And what's that workflow like doing it in Discord compared to something like Slack or Teams?
Yeah, I think like one main point that like Discord has is like you can like quickly jump in a voice chat and
Mm-hmm.
like start talking like straight up, and like you don't need to like share some links and stuff. And I think for me personally, it was really comfy to use Discord because of the voice channels.
As well as screen sharing. And I would say like
Yep.
one thing that really brings it the versatility is, first of all, I mean, Slack does it as well. You can create any sort of like sub channels and channels and threads as well. It's the same with Discord, but what the screen sharing, the voice without much lag, and most importantly the versatility that bots give you on Discord, I think is very important. Like, you can have so many interesting interactions using the bots. And if you have
Yep.
someone who can write the bots, like uh, one of the bots on our like official server is written by my brother, for example. It was a custom bot especially for the crypto, I mean, Prison Rumble server. So like, this really gives you versatility, and you can create, there is literally no limit with what Discord can offer with using only these features.
Okay, that sounds good. And you're obviously leveraging a lot of Web 3.0 technologies and also Web 2.0.
Hmm.
So, how would you describe Web 2.0 versus Web 3.0 to the average person who's not technical? Because Web 3 still very new. People don't fully, understand what it's about and the technologies involved. So, how would you contrast the two to the average non-technical person?
That's a very good question. Okay, well, first of all, like, the one thing that everyone knows about Web3 is crypto in general. Like, but the main idea behind crypto and what the possibilities of the blockchain chain technology in the future is, the fact that it is decentralized, or at least most of the projects aim to be, yeah, are quasi decentralized. So basically, like, it's a free space, a jungle that can be explored by anyone, even those who do not really necessarily have the deeper grasp of technology at the moment. It is not that hard or not that different from Web 2.0. It is just a different jungle that has not been explored yet, and all of us are with machetes trying to carve our own path.
Okay. And why and how do you think someone should get into Web3?
Well, I think there are like several categories we can mention regarding your question. First category is like people and project that are seeking for easy money, and that's 100% a bad approach, because when you're seeking easy money, you're not creating a high quality product. Some of them may be saw possibilities in Web3 to create something that will reward all the shareholders of the project, of the ecosystem, etc. And I also like the idea um to rewarding participants of your ecosystem, because in that case everyone contributes, everyone takes part in creating something special, and yeah, they have to be rewarded. um,
I agree with you. I think, like, first of all, like, what I have seen and what my experience has been in Web3 so far is the strong community that we saw here. First of all, like, people sometimes are uniting under one idea or one message they would like to bring, but even those who have different ideologies, all of us here, at least the ones that we have met so far, are mm, giving their knowledge, giving out what they have experienced here to the other people who are joining, be it a random user or a founder of a company, it doesn't matter. Everyone is very open, everyone is very, very welcoming. And what the aspect that Artyom was just talking about, like feeling that you're part of the ecosystem, that you're contributing and getting rewarded for that, is a very big aspect that has been lacking from Web 2, so to speak. Like taking a survey or taking like even like the word of mouth spreading of any like gaming project or product or like makeup line that you like, for example. You do that because you just want to do that. Like you want to express that, you want to tell your friend that, oh, look, I found this such a cool like restaurant, right? But what Web3 gives you the possibility to is actually spread that word, and not only bring another quote unquote customer to a company and a product, but also uh, bring another person in the ecosystem, and you, while you're doing that, getting rewarded for that. Not only because you want to do that, but also get the reward for doing something that you want to do, feeling that you are a, even if a small part, but you are a part of the grand ecosystem. So I think that is very another big aspect of the Web3.
Okay, and what do you wish you knew when you started that you know now? What advice would you give to yourselves?
First of all, from the marketing perspective, there are a lot of scammers, and I would advise to
Mm,
early stage projects to be very cautious about the influencers, about the marketing stuff, and like in general about the services you've been uh, services that people are suggesting you, because there are a lot of scammers. Um, Despite the fact that Web3 is now getting more quality, there are still many scam projects, many scam influencers. So uh, that would be like my advice, my personal advice. What do you have in mind, guys? Miki, Michelle?
yeah, that is definitely true. Actually, at some point, we did
Yeah.
fell prey to the scammers.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, that was a hard lesson, hard learned. But it is it is very hard to answer your question, because for us, it's like every single day we are moving at a very fast rate. Like at first, when we began the project, it was an NFT project. We labeled it as an NFT project because that's what we thought was sort of like the boundary of it, and that's it. But after that, we have evolved and we have learned so much. We have increased our network so much, and we have gathered so much information, intelligence, and uh, like it. And it is a process that is happening every single day, that we have moved so much past just the NFT aspect, and uh, expanded in a massive different idea. And it is hard, because what I would say, like probably everything that we know right now, I would try to give myself at the beginning every single thing that I know right now, because it is hard to just take one of it. you know
Yeah, and also if you want to explore Web3 space safely, the biggest advice is to improve your financial knowledge and knowledge of macro and microeconomy, because
Mm,
there are a lot of projects that are offering like a mm, potentially good economy, and your first look at the economy, when you first look at the economy, you can think that like it's like a masterpiece, and it's
Yeah.
a good
Impressive.
economy, but in real it can be like a big bubble. So be
yeah.
cautious. Yeah, improve your financial knowledge, improve your economy knowledge. Yeah.
Yeah, another one, because you already said it, Arjun. I'm just going to add that focus on, first of all, focus on the product. That is one big thing. And the second thing is, uh, and by the product, of course, I mean like what makes your product unique. Why would people be using your product, and etc. And the second thing is, even in a bull market, even in a bear market, doesn't matter which type of market you have or which type of market there will be in the future. You have to create a product, and you have to create an ecosystem and the financial part of it, which would be sustainable. Like these two, I
Yep.
guess, if I had to choose. Yeah.
Okay, and how do you find the indie life? Running your own, company compared to working for an established company.
It's very interesting. It is an interesting change of pace for me, at least. But I think, like, for us three, since Artyom already has his own marketing company, he already has been through some of this, and for me and Mikibo, since we have been in art industry, so sort of, at least, uh, this lifestyle is not that not completely different, or with what we were used to before.
Yep.
But of course, being at the helm of everything, this does change perspective, and gives you more responsibility than you had before, not only about you yourself or the product, but about other people as well. So that is something new for
Definitely.
me, and it's
Yep.
interesting. It's a new challenge, and I think all of us really like challenges.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there was a
definitely.
book. I don't really remember its full name. I think like How to Achieve Happiness or something like that. But it's not like a typical uh, uh, bullshit. I'm sorry for the word, but yeah, it said that like there was a survey in US, I believe, and people were asked to say when they feel a true happiness, and everyone, like 99% of the people of the focus group said that they feel happy not when they like chill on the Bahams, or like they feel happy when they feel that they achieved and they uh, answered like tough questions in their life, and they achieved like hard goals, and to be specific, when they they is a challenge in the life. So I feel like uh, I like challenges, and this project is a bunch of challenges for me, for my team, for
Mhm.
us, and I really like it because like um, when you see challenge, you may be afraid, uh, but when you like how to say, Misha, help me.
How to say what, like
When you defeat the challenge,
when you
then
overcome when
yeah,
you
when you
overcome a challenge. Yeah,
overcome the challenge, uh, the true happiness comes. So yeah.
I think like Mikibo has a sort of a poster on his wall which says "Seek discomfort."
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
I love it because it definitely uh, like incentivizes growth. And other than that, I think another big part of being like at the helm of an indie life is like whenever us three are in a same space and our three hats kind of bash against each other's, like there are so many cool ideas that are born, and it is literally hard to stop to improve what we have or to create something new. And that aspect of our life these months and upcoming years, it is beautiful for me personally.
Okay, and what do you guys think of remote working versus in the office? What do you think are the advantages and disadvantages of each? And if you had to choose just one, which one would it be?
Okay, I personally, I would choose office because I
Yep.
think like being around other people whose minds are concentrated in doing something together, like it helps being together. It motivates me, for example, when I see another person, not just know, but see another person work, and
Good point.
I want to work like is with them. And there are some places and some avenues like where being remotely could be good when it's you have to do like quote unquote like grunt work, like the work that has to be done doesn't really have that much creative side to it, doesn't really have any um, seeking aspects to it, it just has to be done. in these avenues, I think like working remotely could be more appealing to certain people, which I totally understand. But when it
Yep.
comes to yeah, but when it comes to like doing something creative, when it comes to like ideas, when it comes to fine tuning, when it comes to like improving and creating, I think like
Office.
yeah,
Yeah.
social
Yeah.
aspect is a big part for me.
Yeah, like it's a really important, and also like I think like office brings this team spirit as well,
Hmm.
and like when you see your coworkers and your teammates together, like it really creates a much bigger team spirit that is really important in startups as well. But like personally, me, I believe like it's also cool to like mix like office and also working from home.
Yeah.
Yes, like you can also balance it well, I believe. Yeah, and like yeah, for me personally, it's like a mixture of these two is the perfect work environment, so to say.
Yeah, yeah, same for me as for Mikibo.
Okay, and did you guys go to university? If so, what did you guys study?
Me, I was learning in Georgian Academy, and I was kicked out after 6 months.
Oh, really?
Uh,
I didn't know that.
yeah, yeah, and like afterwards, yeah, like that was my experience, like learning stuff, just 6 months. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, I used to study. 2 years I studied acting as my major here in Georgia, and for 4 years I the same major again in bachelor's, and I finished. I graduated in China, Beijing, actually, again like in acting and the art degree. Yeah.
Yeah, I was learning business administration in Tbilisi University, but when I acknowledged that the quality of lesson, the quality of books, and the information I was receiving there was not an actual one, because we were learning business administration from the books, like from the uh, 20th
20th
century.
century. Yeah.
Yeah, so business is like it's changing every day, so you have to go with the time. And when I acknowledged that I wasn't able to receive a high quality knowledge and some practice, I left the university and started my own business, opened established a company, marketing company, and yeah.
Yeah, so like I believe like university like style is really dying, and I'm a true believer that like in a couple of years, like online courses or master classes will be much more important than like getting degree from university, because like you can learn a bunch of stuff and much quicker in like online, or like when you're going on a master classes, and it's yeah like more productive as well than just going university like daily and learning the same stuff.
Oh, I agree with you like wholeheartedly. I think like experience learning, of course, not in every, but I would say like more than half
Yep.
industries is much better than going to university. But if you want to be a doctor, like
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
health practitioner, you should go to
You have to,
university.
yeah. Yeah,
I don't want to go to a
definitely.
doctor who doesn't have a degree.
Yeah,
You don't want to go
definitely.
to a doctor who learned it on Udemy and
Yeah,
YouTube.
yeah. I don't
So
want
true.
to. Yeah. What you think,
Yeah.
Farhan, about that, by the way?
No, I'm of a similar vein to. I think university can be good. I went to university myself,
Hmm.
but I felt I experienced the same thing. The resources that we're using were just severely out of date. I remember when I finished university and I started working on more real life projects. It was just using versions that was so much newer than
Hmm.
what we learned at university, and so much had changed since the version that we was using at university. It was like a whole new thing,
Exactly.
Yep.
and it that was like a major issue. And the thing is, I've actually lectured at university as well since I finished. So I got to see it from the perspective of being a student, but then seeing it from the inside as well.
Hmm.
So the one of the problems with university is obviously I only taught in a UK university, but I think it's a similar issue around the world. Is with schools, you have exam boards, and those exam boards are very strict and rigid. Like every year, new exam papers, updated, curriculum syllabus. There's a lot of, eyes on the syllabus. People are, making sure that's up to date. People, have a lot of vested interest in it. But when it comes to university, the lecturers were creating the exam papers and what they were doing, because what they would do to make it easier for them, they wouldn't, like in school, you could get, last year's maths exam paper and have a look at that, and you get a rough idea, of the format. You couldn't do that at, universities here, because what lecturers would do, they would get last year's exam papers that they created, tweak a couple of things
Yeah.
to make it easier for them, and do the exact same, exam paper this year, next year, and the year after. Same with the coursework as well. And as a result, things, if you do that for 5 or so years,
Yeah,
things go out of date, especially when it's to do with technology based
definitely.
courses.
Yep, yep.
100%.
Yeah, like I believe like universities should prepare students for the future and not grab them in the past, because like new technologies, like it's like you hear like news about new technologies every day and every hour, and like it's really hard to keep up. And when universities like teach you from the like old stuff, it really doesn't make sense, and I think like students are just wasting their time.
Yeah, I think like the either they should give you the information and basically the knowledge that you're seeking, or at least like what they should do is give you the tools to and give you like the how you should learn, how you should attain what you're
Yeah,
seeking. At least that should be answered. Either
definitely.
one of those two would be good, but at the moment, at least that's my personal perspective. It's lacking in both.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of course. Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
And it's the cost of university
Oh
is
my!
ridiculously
Yeah.
high. Like, how much is it in Georgia if you was to do a typical bachelor's
In
right now?
Georgia, is quite cheap actually.
Is
If
it
it's
quite cheap?
yeah, if it's like a government university, like not private, and some programs are even free. Like let's say
Okay.
philosophy, for example. We have a friend who studied philosophy. It was for free, but the regulars, so to speak, like the averages in dollars, I
Two
would say,
two two point five k Larry, which
yeah,
is like approximately.
$800 $900 for a
Yeah,
year.
yeah,
It's
Okay,
super cheap.
yeah, that's not that much, because in the UK, the course fees alone are about 10 grand. That's just
Yeah.
course fees. Then you got to get loans. I mean, the average person, unless they have rich parents, but obviously most people don't, they need to get loans for accommodation. They need to get loans for food, for books,
Hmm.
etc. All that stuff. I remember I was working it out with a cousin of mine that if you was to become a doctor in the UK right now, the amount of and assuming you don't have any of your own money and you're just getting loans, it would cost you about £100,000 in
Oh,
loans.
that
Yeah.
in full course or in 1 year?
No, no, no. In full course. In
All
full
right.
course.
Okay. Good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Still horrible, but
Yeah. Yeah. It's still horrible. It's crazy to think. But in America, I hear people, racking up multiple six figures
yeah,
up to a seven figure.
yeah,
And I see that online regularly. People are racking that up, and not even doctors. Just
yeah.
normal few-year bachelor degrees, and it's insane over there.
At some point I
Wow.
was considering going to actually to USA and like continuing my acting career there. And one of the mediums was looking at universities. And when I look at the prices, and I have feedback from people who studied there, I know what they actually gain from that is it's not worth it. It's not even worth like 10%. Even if you were paying 10% of that, it would still be barely worth it, to be honest.
I think
Yeah,
like it's more about like the people you will
yeah,
like meet
definitely,
there.
definitely.
It's
Yes,
about
but
I think,
most like a
yeah,
networking.
in US, like if you're an actor, and if you, like, for example, want to be a Hollywood star in the future, for example, university is not like kind of a knowledge.
Best place. Yep.
Yeah, then maybe it's not a best place for receiving a knowledge, but it's
Yep.
a very very good place for receiving some for expanding your network, right?
Yeah, but that's what I was thinking about. Let's even change the perspective. Let's not about this is we're talking about blockchain here, jokes, but whatever field that you're working in, if you can expand your network sometimes even easier when you're not focused on studying in university, because when you're studying in university, depending on what type of like schedule you have in university, sometimes like you will have to spend more times at home trying to practice or trying to write something than you would if you were working and actively working on your networking. So I think like even in that regard, you can network sometimes, not always of course, but in many regards for free. And if you're going to university and you have to pay 100,000 US dollars a year sometimes, or even like for 2 years for networking, it's not that cost effective. That's just what I want to say.
Oh
Yeah,
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 for sure.
maybe. There
Yeah,
must be like a golden standard between like knowledge and network you can get from the university.
yeah,
I
and
think so. Yeah.
yeah, because in university you're paying, right? You're paying, and if you're only paying for network, you can do it better in many places if you want to be, if you try to be, if you're a hustler, so to speak,
Yeah,
you can do
that's a
it.
good
So
point.
why?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. And at university, the thing is, if you happen to have a couple of bad times or bad days or bad times, you could potentially fail your year, and you have to redo
Yeah,
your year. It's a whole nother course fees. It's not like they say, okay, you failed, but it's okay because we've already taken a lot of money from you. We'll let you have one more year on us, or want to reduce this, reduce price. It is nope. It is the full price again.
yeah.
So I mean, it's crazy from that perspective. And the other thing in my head that I have about university is that obviously teaches you old stuff. Probably very few are even talking about blockchain and crypto, and very few of those are equipped with individuals that actually know about it to an extent that they can teach it. The other problem is university. Of you guys have already said this, should prepare you to be successful for the real world, and
Mhm.
go out there and give you the skills. And those skills aren't just related to your subject. So if you're doing art, acting, programming, it's also about communication. It's also about how to overcome adversity, which is nothing to do with your particular field, chosen field to study. It's just about how to maintain relationships, all that sort of stuff. In very important life skills, it's like they should have a department for just general life skills, but also make sure it's important that people, attend or, understand that, because you need those skills to be successful in the real world afterwards.
100%. I think
Definitely.
that group is called, if I remember correctly, the soft skills. But they are so important that like it is what actually makes you like potentially successful. If you have those skills already honed down, if you're not afraid of people who are successful, then if you know what you have to do in order to achieve success, like that is as much as important as the knowledge that you're going to be using to achieve it.
Yeah, universities can, and education in general can definitely do a better job at producing people that are more well-grounded, that have the skills to succeed, from the soft skills to even the actual required skills. Because like
Hmm.
I did programming, like I was saying, the stuff was out to date, but not just out to date. There was just like we were very focused on programming, but programming is just a small part of development. You have different OSs, you have different compilers, you have different stuff like Docker and GitHub. You have all these other tools and Slack and whatnot. None of that is for the most part covered. Yet you need those when you become a developer, whether you go on your own and become an indie developer like yourselves, or you work for a big studio that's worth $1 billion plus. You need to use those other skills. And I think you get juniors or new people that go into these companies, and a big part of it is just them figuring out some of these basic, terminology and basic tools that aren't actually that difficult to learn, but it just seems daunting when you're just given a bunch of them and you see everyone else just knows them.
Yeah, exactly. It feels like you're in a place where you have like 10, like when you have to drink water and you have 10 cups and all of them have a question mark and you don't know which one water is.
Yeah.
Everyone else is just like going and drinking and you have no idea what the hell you're doing. You have no idea where you are. You know what you have to do and you know how to do it, but you have no idea. Like
No, of course not. Yeah,
it's hard.
it is. And I mean, you guys have kind of already alluded to it, but I'm going to ask you directly. Would you recommend university to people?
Um,
On a
again,
certain point, yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's certain professions you have to go there, in my opinion.
Mhm.
Some others, I think, like if like countries like in Germany, for example, like it's very cheap to go to a government funded university. If you have that ability to do so, I would suggest it still, because still like social aspect of it, like being around people who are focused on your profession or what you want to do and kind of gathering experience from them, it's also very good, in my opinion. But if you have to pay a lot and you're not going to get that much back, like in most cases I would say no, but in some cases I would say yes. If you have the ability to work, if you have the ability to get yourself into the industry, get yourself into what you're trying to do, then and it's available to you already, or at least you have a chance, like I would say, like, go try it first.
Yeah. Yeah, like it's really worth trying, like, and it really depends on the university as well, and also about the profession you are choosing.
Yeah, and also for a person as well, I think some would get more from university than the others.
Yep, yep.
Oh
But
yeah,
like,
for
yeah, in
sure.
generally,
It's
especially
really,
like I would say like 10 years later, yeah, probably not.
As a marketer, I will advise to like make some research before going to the like specific university, because if you see that professors like in lectured in the university, uh, and their knowledge are based on the real life experience, on the real job experience, you should definitely go, because uh, I remember that in my university there was a professor like 80 years old, and he was uh, like in business administration, and he was born like in Soviet Union, where like the business itself was illegal, and he was like teaching us a business administration without having any real life experience in business, without like even running a real business in real life. So how can I benefit from that kind of knowledge, so my advice would be like do some research, find out if there are like some real good specialists, and if you see, yes, you should go. If you can see there's nothing you can't learn, like in the, like, you can learn anything in the internet, right? So
Yeah, another, I think, like what I would advise again is, there are some people who you can potentially become an apprentice of, so to speak. There are like work for them for free, even just to get their experience, just to be there to see what they're doing, to learn from them in that regard. Sometimes you might even have to pay, like it could be in a various ways, but if you can get a person who could lead you at least somewhere, it's good. Because if you, for example, you're sitting at home, you want to learn programming, right? You didn't learn any programming prior, you just finished school, you have the option of going to programming school. If you don't go to the programming school, if you just look in the internet, you will see so many languages like C sharp, C++, just see which one should I start with. Maybe I should start with Python. But if I start with Python, I don't know like the basic fundamentals, I don't know them deep enough, for example. But you don't know which one you should go through, you don't know which one you should begin with, and you don't want to just Google the answer, right? So in that regards, having someone who can guide you, having someone or some like a group or a person or anything, it is very important, in my opinion. It is always very hard to reinvent the wheel, and you don't really have to do that. But it does not necessarily have to be a university. I think if it's just one person or some other people or something like that, it is going to be more effective in that matter.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like you're saying, some professions, doctors, lawyers, it leans more towards a formal style of education. Doesn't mean it can't be better, but it leans more towards that.
Mhm.
But then other careers, especially like programming, being an artist, design, for example, you can, learn the tools online, YouTube. If you want to pay something, there's Udemy, Skillshare,
Hmm.
all these master classes online as well. And you can create your own portfolios on like, Behance, on GitHub, etc. And that can go, a very long way. Plus, like you're saying, it depends on the person. Somebody might really benefit from that structure of, these are my deadlines, this is what I've got to do, just got to do it. I don't have to think about what I've got to do and organizing
Hmm.
that per se. But then also, you get people that feel like they need to go to university because that's the accepted thing in society,
Yeah,
instead of being like, okay, I'll pick up a trade, I'll be an electrician, I'll be a plumber. And some of those people earn a fair bit of money. Like, I know tradesmen that earn more money than university graduates that are doing well
100%.
anyway. So, and what I find more amazing is, if you're, let's say, a decorator, an electrician, a plumber, those are skills that I 100% guarantee you will become useful in your own home. Very rarely, are you going to be a programmer and think, what, I can program this thing at my own house? It's highly unlikely. Or, a
Yeah.
designer or whatnot. You might be able to leverage it somehow, or your interest in technology or interest in the field might, become beneficial. But if let's say you're a painter, you're gonna have to paint your house at some point, and you can do that. You can save a lot of money as a result as well. So those
Yep.
savings are effectively earnings as well. So I think that's something that people need to understand. There are other options out there. You just gotta have a tough enough skin to ignore people that are
Hmm.
basically, put up the people that have gone to university, but then put down the people that didn't go to university.
I mean, that is a big stigma in Georgia as well, because like even I have like three siblings, two of which are younger than me. My sister is still not in university age, for example. I had these talks with my like parents regarding the future and stuff a long time ago, and a lot. But in Georgia in general, it is kind of you have to go to university. And
Mm-hmm.
when people go to university, like youngsters, they don't even know why they're going there. They don't even know why they chose this profession. They just chose it because they have to. They have to go through it. That's it. And
Yeah.
most of it, like I would say more than half at least, does this like mindlessly without even thinking too much about it. They just do it because this is like after school, this is another step that you have to take. It's not like should I take it? Is it like an option? No, it's one of those things that
Yep.
has been like this, and you should do it. It's strange for me
You
personally.
like you just have to follow this like rule, I guess. Like
Yeah,
that was created by the people.
I mean, like universities when they were created, it was good because they were created in around the Middle Ages. At that time, going to university it was definitely good, but
Yeah.
now, like you don't have to go through it.
Yeah, there's definitely other options out there,
Yeah,
and maybe not even going to university straight away. I mean,
yeah.
there's that stigma as well that, oh, that person didn't go straight away after school or college. They took a year off, and I don't think you should be, lazy and just play games all day,
Oh no.
and just eat pizza for a year or two. But if you want to, I didn't really travel much when I was young, and that's one thing I do, regret, because there's a lot of ways that you can do it cheaply as well. So you can travel, but also you could, get a regular job. Ignoring the money aspect, obviously that's good, and you should get that as well. But just the experience of interacting with people, volunteering or working on some project that you want to work on, I think that should be encouraged as well. And then say, okay, do that for a year or two, see how that goes, but then go to university after. I think something like that is something that people should talk about, and parents should have the discussion with their kids as well, because it is basically like, if you're not going to university, you're a failure, and you brought shame onto the family effectively because everyone else in the family has gone to university.
Yeah, I think like it should be like this: explore your life a bit, and once you know that you want to commit 4 years and learn this one profession, then you should do it because I think it's worse than like taking 2 years off. Then I mean, it's better to take 2 years off and then go to and have mindful studying than waste 4 years studying something you don't want to do at all.
Yeah, so I think Israel is a good example of a good educational system because they have like after finishing school, you go to straight to the army, and you have like 3 years or so, if I'm not mistaken, to learn like general subjects, and then when you're like 22 years old, 21-year-old, you are like more about to decide which direction you want to go. So I think deciding in 18 years old where in what direction you want to go isn't correct, I think, because
Hmm.
like you haven't explored the life, you haven't explored the possibilities, you don't even know what you want, so like how can you decide which direction to go?
Yeah, I mean, if you feel like you know, then sure, go ahead. Why not? Like, good for you. I'm happy for you. If you don't know, if you think like you should do more exploring and find options, work, travel, know yourself better, I think that's very good. And you can do that, and
Yes.
afterwards you can just commit to what you want to commit. And then even if after that you want to change, it's fine. Like
Yeah, of
it's life.
course.
Yeah, like exploring is like one of the main aspects of the life as well,
Hmm.
I believe.
No, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, you're always changing, you're always growing,
Yeah.
physically changing, but also, mentally, and
Yep.
the people that the people that the person you was will be different in 5, 10, 20, 30 years. I look, because I'm 30 now, I'll be 31 in December. I look back and think, how different I was when I was 18 when I started uni, and even how different I was when I was 22 when I finished university.
Yeah.
Like basically 10 years on, there's a lot that has changed, and obviously certain things I wish I did know, or I was told, and I would have done things differently. So yeah, there's definitely. I think society and parents need to be a bit sort of calmer with their kids, and have
Hmm.
a more open discussion instead of saying
Yep.
university is definitely the way to go.
I agree with you 100%.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm just gonna ask some sort of fun generic questions,
All right.
and this is see what sort of answers we get for these. So, would you rather run? I mean, you kind of already are, but would you rather run a 10-person company, basically like what you're doing, or a 1,000-person company, and why?
Okay, what do you mean, like, exactly by 10% company and 1,000% company?
Okay, so right now there's 11 of you, including you three. So that's like effectively that's 11 people. So that's like a roughly a 10-person company, 10 people, 10 employees.
Mm.
Would you rather, keep it to this sort of size and make this a successful with maybe a few more employees, or would you rather have a company with 1,000 plus people, really, really big, with loads of, tiers and structure, a lot more structure to it?
Well, I think it really depends on the person. It's like a very personal question in terms of which one do you prefer. If you're engaging like with the process of creating something, it doesn't really matter for you how many percents will you receive, right? If and on top of that, you can't. I truly believe that you can't build a successful project, successful business without um, a strong team, right? So I prefer to have, like, for example, in case you mentioned 10%, but run and launch a successful project rather to have 100% of the company.
I think like that's like I think he meant person, not percent. So
Yeah, person, I meant.
yeah, that's also
Ah,
what I heard at first.
okay.
That's why I asked it because I was a bit like I didn't know which direction you were talking about. Um, yeah, I think you can like reiterate your answer based on that.
Um,
If
would
you
you
want,
like to
I
start, Michel? Like, it's a
yeah,
tough
yeah, yeah,
question. I
yeah,
have
yeah.
to think about it. Yeah.
I mean, at some point, I think like when I think about Everforge Studios, for example, I see it scaling at a point where it will be more than 10. Like we will need that. It is something that will happen, and I think it's a good natural progression. And when it comes to like me personally, what I like and what I feel more comfortable in, or what kind of connections I prefer, I think like 10 is better when it comes to like me personally, because when 10 people are working together, like everyone has a clearer say, everyone's opinion is heard better, and everyone like is creating a thing together. But if you want to create something big, like truly very very big, then it's hard to do it with a little number of people. So you need more people, then you need a bit more structure, then you don't have and you don't always build those strong connections in like 1,000 person companies, because it's impossible. But it is if you want to do something big, it is necessary to go that way, in my opinion. Not always, but most of the time. But more in terms of like preference, in terms of what I like 10 people, because all of us can be like have a strong connection built with each other, and we can build on that and build by that, you know.
Well, I personally think that like Blizzard is the good example of the big like entertainment company. A good example of what problems can arise when there's like 10,000 people in the company. Because I agree with you, Misha, that when there are like, for example, 10, 15, 20 people in the company, it's way easier to share same vision and yeah, like
It's like
same.
building a family, so in my
Yeah,
opinion, like
yeah.
you feel like you're in a family.
So in the case of the big company, you really need to have really strong community managers, really strong project managers that will share your vision, that will 100% understand what direction you want to go and your project wants to go. And yeah, so you have to uh, redistribute responsibility to people you truly trust. But it's very difficult. Yeah, but you have no choice, because if you want to uh, become a big company, big organization, you will have to face that kind of problems.
Yeah, and
Uh,
you will have a
yeah,
lot of meetings. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, like in my opinion, like right now, Prison Rumble is a seed, and seed has to grow, and it's
Mm.
a natural process of growing, and every step has its bad side and good sides, and we have to just learn through every step and grow as big as we can.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, and this question is probably my favorite question that I like to ask everyone.
Okay.
Does money buy you happiness?
No.
No, not really. Yeah,
I mean,
Okay.
like when we were discussing, like, of course, like we have tokenomics, we have everything. Like when all of us, three of us, were discussing like what we would do when we would have funds. Like all of us have the same answer. As long as we have enough to eat and to move from office to house and like basic needs, we don't really need more than that. Like everything goes back to the company, everything goes back to the product, and everything goes from there. And I
yep,
think like in general, like money gives you necessities, it gives you things, but happiness, you don't buy happiness, you find it and you build it and you work for it, you know.
Okay. Good
really
answer.
good, really good
Yeah,
answer. Yeah.
I mean, you money can bring you one-time happiness, like the moment, right? But when you have like, for example, if yacht brings you a happiness, you like for the first time you will be happy to like be on the yacht and etc. Right? But when it like happens like the 10 times, it doesn't bring any happiness for you. So personally, for me, money, I mean, it's just a tool that may bring you uh, like a little
Mm,
piece of happiness, but in general, no. I mean, if I have enough money to like eat,
yeah,
it's already enough for me.
I think like money can
Yeah.
open up possibilities,
Yep.
but it doesn't really
That's what I
bring.
want to say. Yeah.
And like I think like the bad like more clear answer or something would be like, for example, if we talk about our game, like would I be happy if the game is successful, or would I be happy and like and brings like happiness and joy and fun, you know, to people, or would I be happy if the game brings me a lot of money? I think I know I would be happy if the game is liked by people and they enjoy it. That's what would bring me happiness. Of course, like being money is not bad, but that would be what brings happiness, for example.
Yeah, like for me personally, I'd rather go camping than go in a
Mm.
five-star hotel, because I appreciate the experience, and not like this fancy stuff, like that is just
Yeah,
material stuff. I appreciate emotions and experience, and yeah,
Yep.
rather than just five-star hotels and stuff like that.
How about you, Farhan?
Okay, so my opinion on it is yes, money can buy you happiness if used in the right way. So, like you said, if you're buying yachts, if you're buying, nice cars, big houses all the time, that, happiness will go away very quickly because the shininess will wear off. But if money is used to effectively buy you freedom from a job that you don't like, to
mm.
make sure you've got enough food on the table, good quality food, that you can look after your family, that you don't have to worry about bills, that, and as a result you can spend more time with your family doing stuff that you want to do, in the limited time that we have on this planet, and just making sure your kids are taken care of. Then from that perspective, I think money can buy you happiness. I see money as a tool, and like any tool, if used in the right way, it can bring you a lot of joy. It's like if you
Hmm.
try and make a fried egg out, with an egg and a hammer, you're going to be upset because you're not. It's just going to be a mess. Or if you try and hammer a nail with a whisk, you're going to get upset because it's not going to work. And money is the same thing. If you throw it at fast cars, boats and clothes and all that other stuff, and as a result, you seek happiness from it. It's different if you seek something else from it.
Hmm.
Maybe you buy a fast car for the simple reason to put it on a racetrack, drive around for a couple of hours, and that is the pure purpose of it, and that's all you want. Then you'll probably get a lot of joy out of it. But if you
Yeah,
think just gaining the latest car every year will bring you happiness, then I don't think that will be the case. So that's my overall opinion on does money buy you happiness?
for sure.
Okay, so this is kind of still sticking with money. Would you rather have 5 million upfront, so let's say US dollars, or 500,000 a year for the rest of your life?
5 million upfront or 500,000 a year?
Yeah,
Half a million
and
a
what's the
year.
reasoning in why for each one?
You mean 5 million, like one time 5 million,
Yes,
or yeah?
yes.
I
So
would.
5 million US dollars upfront, you can have it right now, or you get 500,000 after every 12 months for the rest of your life till the day you die. You can't pass that down to your kids in terms of keep getting it, but you
Yeah,
can pass down the money and what you make from it.
I think like half a million every year is much better than 5 million, because it's like till I will be, I don't know, like 18, 80, I will have much more money than like 5 million. So
I mean, for example, if you have go to the moon idea in your head, and you know that 5 million dollars will uh, help you to rocket your idea and give you a possibility to expand a horizon and monetize that 5 million, and make it like not five, but like I don't know, 1 billion. You have to, like, you should take 5 million. But in other cases, I think 500,000 per year is the best choice for me.
yeah, I would take half as well because like that has been like probably the biggest thought I had for a long time. Like that, for example, right now or like before, or when I was working at a regular job, that I had to spend more than half a day doing something I didn't really enjoy, so that I can do the other, so that I can spend the other half doing what I enjoy. And like having half a mil every year, I can spend all of my days doing the things that I enjoy. So
Okay.
yeah.
So, favorite board game?
Can it be just a tabletop?
I mean, it can be. Is it table tennis?
Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, Dungeons and Dragons.
150%
definitely,
every single
yeah.
day.
Yeah, I mean, I would consider that a board game. Yeah, is that the case for all of you guys?
For me, it is. Yeah.
How about you, Artyom?
Prison Rumble.
It's not it's a digital board game. Okay, it's a different thing.
Okay, I would say Risk maybe.
Risk.
Oh,
Okay.
Risk is also good. Yeah,
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, that's a good game as well. And how about favorite video game? I think we know Artyom's answer to this one.
yeah, sure.
Okay.
Maybe the one that is already developed.
Okay. My top three are Witcher.
1, 2, or 3.
Three. I mean, one is also very good. Like I can't say for sure which one I prefer, but like let's say what the first one and the third one. Dragon Age. Dragon Age is like I don't know. It's my passion. I love Dragon Age so much. It's like a whole universe for me.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Michelle. And I think in multiplayer genre, I think it's Hunt Showdown.
Again,
Good one.
yeah. I mean, for me, it's like Dragon Age. I love RPGs, and those series were like my favorite. Hunt Showdown, it is one of them as well. I like. I used to play it a lot. I used to stream it at some point. It's hard to choose three, and I guess for the old ones, I would say like at least it used to be World of Warcraft as well. I used to love the game, and probably another one if I had to, is Heroes of Might and Magic, the older series, also one of my favorites. Oh, and I forgot Desperados.
Yeah, that's what
And
I
this
was.
is this is without a joke. Like Mikibo
Yeah.
has worked on the third one. That
Yeah.
game, the first game, that was the game that made me fall in love with games in general. I remember playing it when I was 5 years old. So yeah,
Yeah, like, so for me, it's like Sea of Thieves,
oh, that's
Forgotten
good.
Ain, Desperados 3 as well, and Cuphead probably. Yeah, like
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
That is one hard game, Cuphead is. I remember me
Yeah.
and my wife, not long after we got married, we tried to play that because obviously there's not many co-op games nowadays, local co-op games. So we played A Way Out, we played It Takes Two,
Oh,
then
that's a good game.
and then we went on to Cuphead, and it was like, oh, it's so difficult.
Oh, another, I would say another honorable mention for me. It's hard to pass on now that I remembered is Detroit Become Human.
Oh, yeah, that's a
Oh,
good one
okay.
as
I
well.
Yeah,
loved
yeah,
it.
yeah.
It was a blast.
I mean, all their games. I remember playing. What was the Heavy Rain?
Heavy
I remember
Rain.
playing Heavy Rain.
Yeah.
Heavy Rain
Back in
is a
PS3,
perfect
PS3.
story. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, it's a shame there are more games like that that are interactive. I know Telltale, had their series, but that company has shut down. I think
Oh,
maybe
really?
reopened, but it definitely shut down. I think he may have reopened possibly, but they had some financial issues. But yeah,
All
there
right.
haven't been that sort of character-driven, story-driven where you make decisions and certain characters can just die off, mid game.
How about Wolf Among Us?
Yeah,
It's
well,
Telltales, I think,
yeah,
right?
yeah, Wolf Among Us, yeah, that's Telltale as well. Because I remember playing the Walking Dead Telltale series, and that was really good
Yeah.
as well.
Mm.
So yeah, for sure, those games are they're different, and I do like that instead of having the same. I love FPS. That's my favorite genre, but having the same FPS thing every year, it can get a bit monotonous.
Yeah.
Having something a bit varied, does help.
And I think there was I forgot the full name, but it had the word Dawn in it. It was like a horror story-driven game. I don't know if you.
I something rings a bell with the word dawn. Daylight dawn? No, that's
Yeah,
not.
I don't remember, but yeah, there was
Yeah.
something. It's also like a good one. They have, I think, another like a 3-part overall series right now. I think they released the second one. I'm really bad with names, but uh, I think it's also in that genre, so to speak, but more horror, and it's pretty good.
Okay. And what video game are you looking forward to, except for Prison Rumble, of course?
Uh,
Dragon Age 4?
yeah, I was going to say the same. Dragon Age 4. Another one actually that I'm really looking forward is what was it? It's an MMORPG, which I was
By
looking.
Riot, right?
No, no,
Or
oh, that one is also one of them, but no, it's a new game. I showed you a few things about it before.
Mhm.
I really forgot the name. Maybe Mikibo could tell
How
his.
about you,
In the
Mikibo?
meantime, I will. It will resurface.
Yeah, I have to look up the name. It's in my wish list. If you give me a second, I will tell you
All right,
the game.
yeah, I remembered. It's Ashes of Creation. That's the one, and also looking for a full release of Baldur's Gate 3 as well.
Ashes of Creation. That does not ring the bell. Okay. I mean, I'll check out the trailers after. It seems like all you guys love your RPGs.
Oh yeah,
That's like your jam.
Yep.
for me definitely. Like
Okay.
like writing, storytelling, atmosphere. That is for me like what really sparks my gaming passion.
Yep. Same for me.
Even though I like FPSs too, like Hunt Showdown, Escape from Tarkov, and similar games. They're pretty good.
Yes.
Have you?
Sorry. Uh,
Yeah, I was gonna ask. Have you found it on your wish list,
yeah,
Mikibo?
yes. Yeah, it's name of the game is a season, a letter to my future. So I'm looking for this game.
Okay.
It's like an adventure game. So yeah, it's like a relaxing kind of like game as well. So yeah.
Season letter to my future. Letter to the future. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, actually, I think I saw the trailer for this, but I would check it out again afterwards because I do like those sort of simple indie feeling, those relaxing
Yep.
ones with that soothing
Hmm.
music.
Same here.
Mm,
Yeah, me too.
yeah,
I like the art style of it. It looks really good.
Yeah.
it does look pretty nice, and I definitely feel like PlayStation has a lot of those cool looking indie, but not a bit bigger than indie feeling ones. Like Journey, Flower.
Journey is
Um,
good one. Yeah.
Yeah, so those sort of games. Compared to Microsoft, I feel like Sony has more of them.
Yeah, I agree with you in this regard, like 100%.
Okay, and are you guys into console gaming or is it just PC mainly?
I mean,
Mainly a PC. Yeah.
mainly
Like for
PC. I do own a console
Me
as well,
too.
but like
Yeah.
I prefer PC to be honest.
For a PC, okay. And okay, so just wrapping up now. Just got a couple of questions to go. So there's three of you. There's 11 of you in total. So there's eight more people. And you've said that outside of the $5,000 that you got from your friend, you haven't had any more money and you're bootstrapping yourself. How do you pay employees, or do you not pay them and they're part of the company like you?
One of the employees are part of the company, and one, like another part, we were paying for them.
Okay, and like, do you find that stressful? Because obviously, the ones that you're paying, I'm guessing you've got to meet regular payroll at the end of the month, end of the week, or whenever you've got to pay them, even if progress on the game may not be that good for that month.
Well, I mean, for the startup project, it's always preferable to have a whole team as a part of the project. But I don't think it's way stressful for us.
Yeah, I mean, if
Okay,
we were to sustain like a full production team for the game itself, and like it would be impossible. But for what we have at the moment, I think it's all right.
okay, that's good. And last question: what advice would you give as a startup to other people looking to make their own games?
Never give up.
I think like what I would say like connections and network is really the key, because uh, always try to be where a lot of people who are doing the same thing are, and it's like if you're. I think this is I kind of like this quote like if if you are the smartest person in the room, you are in the wrong room. So
Definitely.
try to be at places where you can uh, learn
Learn.
more about other people's experience being here. Take a look at other projects, interact with them, because I think like with the interactions with the other people sharing their experiences, you will learn a lot, and it will really help you rather than sitting at home and just doing and working on it. Like that is has to be a part, but not like the only part.
Yep, yep. And the main thing here is to focus on the product, on the technology itself, because if you don't have a high quality product, or at least a skeleton of the product, if you don't have that, it means that you won't expand your network, because when you're speaking to someone and you're, for example, let's say you're saying, "Hey, I've got a project, take a look," and your project like is nonsense, you won't be able to grow your connections. So the main advice from my side is to focus on technology, focus on the quality, focus on the problem. Just like try to find out what the problem is there on the niche you're working on, and try to deliver a high quality solution of the problem.
Yeah, and another one I would say is, unless it's really something that you can like do, of course, because there are like smaller projects, don't try to do it alone.
Yeah, definitely.
Because not only like because you can't do it. Some projects definitely can be done by one person, but like it really helps when there are people who have different opinions, different experiences, different knowledges, and uh,
Yep.
it really it really like speeds everything so much up, and it's also like you're making so many good connections that way as well. So yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. Working with other people is one of the most important things. Like you're saying, you get certain viewpoints that that you don't have. You get experience that you don't have. Plus, also it helps motivate you, because if it's just
Hmm.
you and it's not working, it's easy to put it off. But if somebody else is on the project, one, two, three, or how many people, and they're working, and you want to put it off, but there's really no need to put it off, you're less likely to, because you don't want to disappoint that person. You want to keep it flowing. So you keep each other accountable. When something goes wrong, you've got someone to talk to and bounce ideas off.
Hmm.
Because if you hit a brick wall, somebody else is there to help support you, and you support them to get through it, because it's in your best interest. Whereas if you're on your own, even if you mention it to someone, at the end of the day, once that person goes home, they're gonna go to bed happy, and they're not gonna care, because they have no vested interest. But if they have vested interest, they're gonna be staying up. They're gonna be thinking about it just like you.
Yeah, and another thing probably is if you're doing like alone, you might have some good ideas in your head, but you might need like affirmation. Are they actually good, or maybe they're bad? And if you have like other people working, you are sure that at least you're not the only crazy person in the world. So, you know.
Yeah, and also I would add that if you want to run a successful project, if you want to launch a successful project, you need to forget about the pride. Because if you
Yeah.
think that you know everything, if you think that you are like the smartest person in the room, uh, eventually you will lose everything. Don't be afraid to ask questions, because if you don't know something, don't how to say, don't pretend that you know something. Better to ask, better to find out the information, better to forget about the pride, and eventually you will succeed, I think.
Hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. And yeah, like I think like you have to like downscale your ego and go exploring more and explore more and learn more about the certain project and similar projects you are working on, and get some ideas and realize everything well, and think first and then like start working.
Yep, definitely.
Okay. I love it. Just want to, thank Mikibo, Misho, and RTM for coming on the podcast, for doing almost 2 hours. It's been great. I know I've learned a lot. I know the listeners will be learning a lot as well. So go and check out their content. Obviously, I'll get all the links of you for your social media, for your website, for everything to do with Everforge Studio and Prison Rumble. So go and check out. Obviously just trailers at the moment, but check out the game, download it, play it, and give them some nice ratings, because it helps everyone out. And yeah, I'm super excited to play the game when hopefully it comes out Q2. So that alpha, is that going to be an open alpha to anyone, or what's the process behind becoming part of that?
We're going to launch a closed alpha, which will be limited for like several people, whitelisted users. But then we were going to launch an open alpha, which will be accessible for everyone.
Okay. And the open alpha, how long after the closed alpha will it come out?
I think approximately 2-3 weeks, or maybe even more.
Okay, so not too long. We're not
No, no, no.
saying
No,
half
no.
a year
Yeah.
or
No.
anything crazy like that. Okay.
No, no,
Yeah.
no. We want it out as fast as possible, basically. But
Yes, without losing the quality as well.
of course.
Yeah, of course. So yeah, that sounds good. Appreciate you guys coming on, and
Thanks
I
for
look
having
forward to
us.
playing the game. And hopefully we can have you guys on again, especially once the game launches and we can all get our hands on it.
Oh, we would love
We
that.
loved it. Yeah.
Definitely.
Thank
Thanks.
you. Thank you very much
Thank you.
for
Take
having
Thank
us.
you
care.
for
Bye.
fun, and yeah.
Take.
Bye bye.
Bye. Thanks.